What if everything you were taught about human civilization is based on a lie that's crumbling beneath the weight of massive stone pillars hidden for 12,000 years? History books taught us humans were primitive hunter-gatherers before agriculture. Then in 1994, a Turkish shepherd stumbled upon something that would force archaeologists to tear up everything they thought they knew about human capabilities. He discovered Göbekli Tepe, a site so impossible, so advanced, that archaeologists initially refused to believe its true age. Carbon dating confirmed these structures are 12,000 years old. That's 7,000 years before Stonehenge, 7,000 years before the first known writing, built when humans were supposedly just focused on survival. But these weren't simple structures. The pillars weigh up to 16 tons each, perfectly carved into T-shapes with intricate animal reliefs. How could people without wheels, metal tools, or even pottery create something that would challenge modern engineering? And why would nomadic hunter-gatherers, supposedly struggling just to feed themselves, devote massive resources to building a temple? Here's where it gets stranger. The pillars show evidence of astronomical knowledge, tracking stars and celestial events with shocking precision. The animal carvings may represent constellations, a prehistoric star map created millennia before any known astronomy. And then, the biggest mystery of all, after generations of work, the builders deliberately buried the entire complex under thousands of tons of earth. Why build something so monumental only to hide it forever? Only 5 to 10% of Göbekli Tepe has been excavated. What other impossible discoveries lie beneath the surface, waiting to shatter our understanding? This discovery forces us to completely reverse our understanding of civilization. What if complex society came first and farming followed, not the other way around? To build Göbekli Tepe would require hundreds of workers, specialized craftsmen, architects, and leaders, a complex social structure we thought impossible for that time. Someone had to organize and lead these people, but who? Göbekli Tepe shows no evidence of permanent settlement. No homes, no cooking hearths, no everyday items. It was purely ceremonial. Imagine traveling days across harsh terrain just to participate in mysterious rituals at this sacred mountain. What belief system was so powerful it mobilized entire societies? Animal bones found at the site suggest massive ritual feasts, another impossibility for simple hunter-gatherers. The skills needed to create these perfect carvings contradict everything we thought about Stone Age capabilities. These weren't primitive humans, they were master craftsmen. Lead archaeologist Klaus Schmidt spent his life at the site and concluded, first came the temple, then the city. His revolutionary theory, these massive religious gatherings required so much food that people were forced to start farming just to feed the pilgrims. Religion didn't emerge from civilization. Civilization emerged from religion. If true, this single site might represent the birthplace of organized religion, agriculture, and complex society, the very foundations of human civilization. But the site holds darker mysteries too. Vulture carvings suggest death rituals we cannot comprehend. Was this a place where the dead were exposed to vultures in sacred sky burials, where the boundary between life and death blurred? And what about the strange humanoid figures carved on some pillars, beings with no heads but with arms and hands? Who or what do they represent? Some researchers believe Göbekli Tepe records a devastating comet impact that triggered global cooling. This cosmic disaster around 10,950 BCE aligns perfectly with the Younger Dryas, a sudden return to Ice Age conditions that lasted 100–200 years. Was Göbekli Tepe built as a response to this catastrophe, a way to appease angry gods? What's truly baffling is that after 1,500 years of continuous use and expansion, the builders deliberately buried the entire complex under thousands of tons of debris. Not abandoned, not destroyed, purposefully preserved. If they hadn't buried it, we might never have found it. The burial preserved these stones for 10,000 years until they were ready to be discovered. What would you do if you discovered your entire understanding of human history was based on incomplete information? Every history book needs to be rewritten, every theory about early humans reconsidered. The timeline of civilization isn't what we thought. And the most shocking part, we've only uncovered a fraction of what lies beneath. Göbekli Tepe may just be one site in an entire network of advanced Stone Age complexes. What else are we missing about our ancestors? Similar T-shaped pillars have been found at nearby sites. This wasn't an isolated phenomenon, it was an entire forgotten civilization. Standing among these ancient stones, you can't help but wonder, if our ancestors were capable of this 12,000 years ago, what other capabilities have we forgotten? Did our ancestors possess knowledge that was later lost to time? Some researchers suggest Göbekli Tepe was built to preserve astronomical knowledge after a global catastrophe, a Stone Age time capsule. The pillars may have tracked precession, the 26,000-year wobble of Earth's axis, something supposedly discovered thousands of years later. Why are mainstream archaeologists so resistant to rewriting history books despite this evidence? What else might they be wrong about? Could this site represent the birth of organized religion? The first time humans created a sacred space separate from everyday life? The implications are staggering. What if religion didn't emerge from civilization as we thought, but rather civilization emerged from religion? Many symbols at Göbekli Tepe remain undeciphered. A lost language from the dawn of civilization. Perhaps most importantly, Göbekli Tepe may represent the first time scattered human groups united under shared beliefs, the birth of cultural identity itself. The symbols still speak to something deep within us 12,000 years later. With only a fraction excavated, what other world-changing discoveries await beneath the surface? What other impossible truths will emerge? One thing is certain, human history is far older, far stranger, and far more advanced than we've been taught to believe. As you stand in the shadow of these ancient pillars, you have to ask yourself, what other extraordinary chapters of human history are waiting to be discovered? The story of Göbekli Tepe is still being written. New discoveries emerge every year. This single archaeological site has forced us to question everything we thought we knew about the capabilities of our ancestors. What other impossible monuments await discovery? What other civilizations have we forgotten? Is Göbekli Tepe just one piece of a much larger puzzle about humanity's forgotten past? Perhaps most intriguing of all, the builders seem to have buried it deliberately, as if they intended it to be rediscovered when the time was right. Were they preserving knowledge for us, sending a message across millennia? Göbekli Tepe doesn't just change our understanding of the past. It transforms how we see ourselves and our potential as humans. If our ancestors could achieve this with stone tools, imagine what other impossible feats they might have accomplished. What ancient knowledge have we lost? What capabilities have we forgotten? What impossible things might we achieve? Göbekli Tepe stands as proof that history is not what we've been told. Our past is stranger, older, and far more advanced than we ever imagined. When you touch these stones, you're connecting with ancestors who are far more like us than we've been led to believe. The greatest discoveries at Göbekli Tepe likely remain buried, waiting for us to find them. Will you accept the history you've been taught, or will you question everything in light of this impossible discovery? Göbekli Tepe doesn't just rewrite history books, it forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about human potential. These aren't primitive scratches, they're sophisticated artworks created by people with deep understanding and remarkable skill. What if all later monuments, from Stonehenge to the pyramids, are merely echoes of this original template created at the dawn of civilization? The question isn't just who built Göbekli Tepe, but who are we to have forgotten them? History isn't a straight line of progress. It's a cycle of discovery, loss, and rediscovery. What other knowledge awaits its time to be remembered? The full story of Göbekli Tepe may not be revealed in our lifetime. But one thing is certain, we must rewrite our understanding of human history. We are older, wiser, and far more capable than we've been led to believe. These weren't a different species or supernatural beings, they were humans, just like us, achieving the impossible. What impossible things might you achieve if you stopped believing in the limitations you've been taught? Share this if you believe our history books need to be rewritten. What other ancient truths are waiting to be rediscovered? The mystery of Göbekli Tepe isn't just about our past, it's about what we're capable of in the future. Follow for more hidden history that changes everything. 12,000 years ago, our ancestors created something impossible. What impossible things will you create today?